Now, the judge said a heavier sentence would have, quote, a severe impact on Brock Turner. Lisa, my question to you, isn't that the point of punishment, to have a severe impact? Isn't that the idea?
It absolutely is. And listen, it's customary in criminal cases for the defendant's family and friends to write letters and support and ask for leniency. But it does tend to favor people of means who have more people that they can draw upon in the community, closer family ties. And really, should any of that matter? What should matter is what he did, the choices that he made to rape an unconscious woman. He was caught in the act. He has not been repentant. And I think all of that should have weighed in favor of a much harsher sentence.
That, and then that dad, some of the statements the dad made about it's 20 minutes in order to get some. Or
20 minutes of action.
An action, that's what it was, of action should be. So he sees rape and what, action is consensual
Right, and
sex?
another family member said in one of the letters, Brock is the only one paying for this. As if somebody else should, and who else would that be? The victim, presumably. He is the rapist. He is the one who should be paying for it.
It's very strange. Isn't it the logic that's being applied? It does not build their case. It makes it somewhat worse. Joining me, CNN correspondent Sara Sidner. Sara, the judge in this case is up for re-election today here in California. Will this case affect the outcome of that race?
Not today, because he's running unopposed, so he's not even on the ballot. He will be on the ballot in November. He has run before in 2010, and he was elected unopposed. And he was put into office in 2003 by then Governor Gray Davis. So, at this point, people can be outraged, but it takes 20% of the total number of people that voted in his area, in his district, to come forward for a recall petition. That is what it takes. Those are the numbers of signatures. So we're talking about a lot of people here who would have to sign this recall petition. And we're not just talking about online, Dr. Drew. You know this very well. It has to be those people who could vote in an election that he is in. So we're talking about his constituents. And that's what it's going to take to do a recall. But there are certainly more than 253,000 people who have already gone online to change.org and said that they want him to be recalled. But that is people across the United States and world. So it really does have to be a localized event. And there is someone who has put forward a local petition trying to get those signatures. Dr. Drew?
Sara, there is one other thing about this judge. Now, he is a Stanford alum. He was an athlete at Stanford. I don't want to slip into the Trump world of conflict of interest, but is that a significant conflict for him, do you think?
It's been brought up by others who worked with him. One of the law professors that works at Stanford has said, perhaps it has something to do with the fact that he went to the school, that he graduated from here as an undergrad, that he was a captain of the lacrosse team, according to the Stanford Daily, which is a local newspaper, the school newspaper, and maybe he sees himself in this person saying, look, he's also an athlete, he's also a Stanford student. But look, judges have to deal with a lot of different things, and they're looking at things such as, were there any priors? They do that all the time. I think one thing we should mention here is that, unfortunately, this kind of thing happens a lot in courtrooms across America. People just don't know about it. And the reason why we know about this particular case is because of that incredibly eloquent and searing letter written by the victim. And that, I think, is why everyone is talking. And in some ways, she's getting social justice, maybe not the kind of criminal justice that she wanted, Dr. Drew.